According to the World Health Organization, approximately 10 to 15% of women are affected by postpartum depression and anxiety. Well, now new research is suggesting they are not alone, that men too are impacted by the very same condition. Joining us now to discuss how postpartum depression is affecting new dads is therapist Lindsay Ross. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I believe, as someone who works at Bell, and we're very sensitive to mental health because of the Bell Let's Talk initiative. I'm still having a tough time wrapping my head around postpartum for men. If there's no partum to get post, what is happening to men after their wives give birth or their partners give birth?
Well, absolutely. I mean, when we think about what women go through, they go through 9 months of pregnancy, then they go through the whole, labor and delivery and have to go through, everything that goes on with that. It's hard on men too. They see their wives going through these big changes, and then the baby comes and they have this brand new baby to take care of, and it's tough on them. They're exhausted. They're also sleep deprived. There may be financial pressures too because their wife is on mat leave, so they're the ones bringing in the money. And especially if their wives are struggling, they're at an increased risk of developing their own struggles with depression and anxiety.
So this is something that you've been dealing with as a therapist for a while, but it's slow to enter the conversation in the public sphere. Why is that?
Well, I think that for a lot of men, they have difficulty talking about their emotions. It's hard for them to admit that, you know what, I am really struggling. And so they keep quiet. They keep silent, and they keep it to themselves. And maybe they're also not able to recognize that what they're really struggling with is depression and anxiety. And compared to women, it actually may present differently. So for a lot of healthcare practitioners, it goes undiagnosed or misdiagnosed as well. I've
got to think, though, that if a couple have a baby and the wife does not suffer any form of postpartum depression and the husband does, he's going to keep quiet more often than not.
Yes.
Because he's going to say, if she's fine, I've got to toe the line as well.
Right, exactly.
There's a stigma there that it must be very hard to overcome.
Right, and depression in general, anxiety in general, for men, I think it's really tough. For all of us, there's a real stigma against mental health these days, and especially for men, if their wife is managing fine and they're having a really tough time with this big transition in their lives, they're going to keep it to themselves.
So let's help some men out right now. What are some telltale signs, and does family history play a part in this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you have a family history of depression or anxiety, or you have a history of depression, you're much more likely to develop postpartum depression. That's not to say that if you don't have that family history that you won't go on to develop it, but definitely if you have a predisposition, you're more likely to get it. I think it presents itself very differently sometimes for men. They still are affected by, their sleep habits, and their eating habits may change, but it actually comes out more as it could come out as anger or irritability. They could be spending hours and hours at work, not wanting to come home. They may be participating in reckless behavior, such as abusing alcohol or drugs or extramarital affairs, and isolating themselves a lot more.
So would you recommend talking to your partner?
Yes, yes. I mean, a big part of this, a big part of getting the help that they need is to talk about it, and to say to your wife or your partner, you know what, I'm having a really tough time with this. I need some support. I need to be able to talk about this. And then extending it to your other support systems, like close families and friends, and bringing them on and helping you to support having a break, going on date nights, taking that break from being that father to being that couple again, or being that individual again.
Therapist Lindsay Ross, thank you very much for shedding some light on this. I don't think a lot of people knew about this.
Yes, it's so important.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. And for more information, you can check out our website at yourmorning.ca.